Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. I'm excited for this one. We're going to be exploring some pretty thought-provoking stuff today.
I agree. Should be a good one.
As always, huge thanks to all of you who sent in your source suggestions. We had some amazing submissions, and after a ton of debate, we landed on Chapter 34 of the Tao Te Ching,
Bye, Lao Tzu.
right, by Lao Tzu,
Y-
for this deep dive. This chapter is all about what's called the magnanimity of heaven and earth, which might sound a little, well, lofty
Yeah,
at first glance, but trust me, there's some seriously practical wisdom here, especially when it comes to leadership and personal growth.
definitely. And that's what I love about the Tao Te Ching. It's timeless. It speaks to something deep within us.
Absolutely. And one of the most surprising takeaways from this chapter, at least for me, was the idea that true greatness doesn't come from trying to be the master or being in control all the time.
Right, letting go of that need to control.
Exactly. It's more about embracing this spirit of magnanimity, this kind of vast and generous approach to life. And the chapter starts off by describing this incredibly powerful, abundant energy that flows freely between heaven and earth.
You can almost picture it, can't you? This limitless energy just flowing without any resistance.
It's a beautiful image. And what's really interesting is that the Tao Te Ching suggests that this energy is available to all of us
We can all tap into it.
and that we can become more like it,
Yeah.
more resilient and effective
Adaptable.
by embracing change and flexibility in our own lives.
Just like that flowing energy,
Yeah.
adapting to whatever comes its way.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I realized how much I resist change, even small changes sometimes, like a new routine or something.
It's natural to resist. It's outside our comfort zone.
But what if we tried to see those shifts, those changes, more like that flowing energy? What if we tried to adapt and move with them instead of getting stuck?
I love that. It's like going with the flow instead of fighting against the current.
Exactly. And this idea of adaptability is super important, especially in the context of leadership. Later on in the chapter, there's this line that really struck me. It says, even after nourishing and nurturing all things, it doesn't seek credit, fame, or profit upon success.
Powerful, isn't it? It's talking about selfless leadership, a leader who focuses on empowering others, not on personal gain.
It makes me think of that quote, I can't remember who said it,
A lot of great minds have spoken on leadership.
but it's something like, a true leader doesn't create followers, they create more leaders. And that's what this chapter is getting at, right? It's about leading from a place of service, of generosity, of humility.
It's a beautiful concept. And the Tao Te Ching goes even deeper, saying this energy, this magnanimity, has no desires and doesn't take credit, just like it is very humble, which is fascinating because it suggests that true power comes from letting go of that ego-driven need for recognition or reward.
So it's almost like a paradox.
Right. Saying that the more we let go of our own desires, the more powerful we become.
It makes you think, right? Like, what would it look like to detach from outcomes in our own lives? Could we be driven by a larger purpose without needing that external validation?
It's a challenge for sure, but I think it's a worthwhile one to explore, to see what happens when we shift our focus from what's in it for me to how can I serve?
And then later on, the chapter says, because it can accept everything with humility, this is truly great. So it seems to be saying that true greatness comes from this place of acceptance, not only of others,
Right.
but also of ourselves and of the fact that we don't have all the answers.
And that's where the beginner's mind comes in, this idea of approaching life with curiosity and openness.
Like we're always learning.
Exactly. No matter how much we think we know, there's always more to discover, always more to learn.
And that ties in perfectly with the final passage of this chapter, which, I got to say, really blew my mind. It says, just like a sage, they never consider themselves great, which is truly great and further enhances their greatness.
It is mind-blowing, isn't it? It's a paradox. You achieve greatness by not seeking it,
Yeah.
by not needing to be recognized, by simply being. And I think that's what makes the Tao Te Ching so profound. It challenges us to think differently, to question our assumptions about what it means to be powerful, to be successful, to be great.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the magnanimity of heaven and earth, I'm left with this feeling of, well, awe, I guess. This ancient text offers a powerful reminder that true greatness might not look the way we expect it to.
It might be quieter, more subtle.
Exactly. It's not about dominating or controlling, but about cultivating this spirit of generosity,
Humility.
acceptance. And it challenges us to think differently about how we lead, how we grow, and ultimately how we define success in our own lives.
And it leaves us with a question to ponder. How can you apply these principles of the magnanimity of heaven and earth to your own life, your relationships, your work? How can you embrace change, lead with humility, and maybe even achieve greatness by letting go of the need to be great?
Some serious food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. As always, we love hearing your thoughts, so feel free to share your reflections in the comments below. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Absolutely.
See you all next time.
See you then.